Hey everyone, it's Heart and welcome back to my channel. So it's another episode of Dear Heart, and when I asked about what you guys wanted to talk about, it was actually all fashion related, and I was very thrilled because I love fashion and everybody knows that. And there are a lot of questions about Fashion Week, so this is what we are going to be talking about today, and we will be doing a little bit of a throwback with my trips in the past. My very first fashion show was Schiaparelli, and I was thrilled to be part of it because the house just opened at that time. They were doing like a relaunching of Schiaparelli, and it was just so interesting because before the show, we were given like a tour of, just the history of Schiaparelli. And it was so interesting because I'm also a fan of Chanel, and I found out that they were kind of rivals during that time. But she had such an interesting history, and everything that they created was just so beautiful and intricate, and it was all couture, and it was just so beautiful to see everything up close, and to see the show was also another experience. And I remember I came there with Mark Baumgartner, Cat Cruz, and it was just an extravaganza where we all dressed up, and we came to Paris for just that one show. And then we also met up with some friends like Michael Costa of Hermes, and it was just such a magical experience because it just happened so randomly when I got the invitation, and we were not planning to go to Paris anytime soon. The most memorable show would probably be Gaultier, his last show. It was memorable because I never really said this actually, and I'm very shy to say it. I remember I bumped into Christian Louboutin, I bumped into so many familiar faces, but it was in a small theater, and it was actually the last show before our trip ended. And I was glammed up, I was all dressed to the nines, pearl dress, pearl hair, everything was so beautiful. And when I got to the location, I actually didn't even say this in the vlog because I was too shy, because they dressed me up. And the show was about to start. I had to leave because I was getting a panic attack. Because it was in a small theater, it was a double-deck theater, and I felt so cramped. And it was, it was a celebrated show because it was his last show. And I'm so pissed off at myself for missing it. But I felt that my mental health was first and I couldn't breathe, so I ran out. Yeah. It was memorable because it was supposed to be memorable, but I missed it. Sometimes they contact you through your Instagram, or sometimes you've been a fan of the house or the brand, and I guess it's quite natural for some clients to be invited. But mostly I really get my invitations through the stuff I do with other brands. But sometimes I get invited through, I guess just being affiliated with other brands, and then it just continues and continues. And yeah, so that's how I got invited the first time. Some send you a lot of clothes. Some even send you couture, like Ralph and Russo, Giambattista Valli, Giorgio Becca, this one, Gaultier, and these are all archive couture stuff, but you don't get to keep that because it costs millions and millions. But they usually lend it to you for a couple of weeks for you to shoot, for you to create content for the brand. But definitely they send a piece of, or an outfit, whenever they send you something. I usually get a lot of bags from Louis Vuitton, from Bulgari. So it depends. I guess it depends what you're doing. If you're also modeling the bag, you get to keep the bag. But if you're modeling like a lot of items, they usually ask you if you want to choose which one, or they just send you another time. So it's pretty fun because I love what I do, and it's cool that they send you stuff for you to keep and for you to wear. I was sent dresses from Giorgio Becca. The gown was so beautiful. Also, I'm usually dressed for like Louis Vuitton. I wish I could just keep the whole collection, but they're pretty generous. What else? I must say that dress that I was wearing to Gaultier was really beautiful. It weighed a ton, but then it was so beautiful. I wish I could keep it. And even the pearls that were stitched on it, it was so beautiful. It was just memorable, and I wish I got to keep it. I'm always happy when I'm given jewelry. So sometimes you have Bulgari sending you something, or shoes. Tibi also sends a lot. Judith Lieber was also such a memorable, because I was such a a fan of bag, and for them to custom a bag for me was also, well, I felt really, really special. So yeah, I mean, there's just so much that you wish you can keep all, and they're all equally memorable because, you know, it's not every day that you're dressed up like and you feel like you're Cinderella. It was my first ever Chanel Couture. It was so memorable because it's always so hard to get into Chanel and Dior. But every time something like that happens, it's like you're slowly achieving your dream. I mean, I work a lot with Dior. They send me bags, they send me gifts, and that's just fantastic. And I can't wait to watch their shows finally in person when the world relaunches. Chanel also was such a dream. I did not expect that. I was invited actually through Vogue 100 to meet them and people from Vogue, and to get really close to the dresses was just really, I mean, I was in cloud nine because I love Chanel and I can't wait to see the next one. Favorite Fashion Week city, it's always different for each one. So you have Paris, and honestly, Paris is my favorite city. There's in history, there's a German general named Dietrich, and he's actually known to be the savior of Paris because when Hitler asked him to destroy Paris, he fell in love with the place and he couldn't destroy it, and he was even ordered to be killed by Hitler by shot, but he still didn't. And if an enemy like that can love a place like Paris, what more a friend like me? And I just love the place. Aside from it's such a good mix of history, art, and fashion, the food's also great. And I do enjoy the people. And I love how they have dogs in the Hermes store. And the dogs can go walk in anywhere. New York is a different vibe. New York is also very hip, very casual, but super busy, super hectic. New York is, you feel alive. So the energy is really different. Milan is chill, I feel. Although the schedule is very hectic, but it's pretty chill. But I love Milan because I also work closely with Ferragamo and other brands there that, it's nice because you kind of feel like you have another home because everybody welcomes you and they like to take you to, tours and make you stay in certain hotels. So it's also a different vibe. And plus I love cheese, and there's always cheese in Milan. Pizza, pasta, name it. Okay, so a lot of people don't know what I really do. I mean, I am an actress, I'm an artist, but I do closely work with brands. So I enjoy creating content for brands that I purchase myself or brands that I've created a relationship with. So they send me clothes. I have requirements every day. Requirements means you have to take photos with brands, local and foreign. Sometimes we have 10 requirements a day. So I have like Jack, I have Kino, I have Justin, I have everyone filming, shooting, and editing. And it's kind of hard also because, I mean, it's fun if you're doing it just because you want to, but you also forget that you have deadlines. So you have to submit, and you can't just take a photo like a photo. I mean, especially for me, I'm such a perfectionist. So I want to make sure that each photo really represents me as an individual and how I carry the clothes and how I interpret an outfit and how I make it me and how that can translate to whoever is gonna look at my picture and how can they relate to that in a way. So there has to be a lot of thought for each photo. So it's kind of hectic, it's kind of hard, but I love it. Going back to what I was doing in the past, I mean, I've been acting for 24 years. 22 because I kind of stopped for 2 years. I did a movie in China. It's not the other movie. It was actually like a suspense movie, and it was pretty interesting. But I mean, I miss also the high of acting. Although doing telenovelas is very hectic, hindi talaga siya biro because you pull out at 5 a.m., you finish 3 a.m., get home at 6 a.m., then you have other work the next day. Then it's like that 3 times a week, and you do it for a couple of months. So it's really work, but it is my bread and butter. And I do enjoy it, and I'm definitely gonna go back. In fact, I do have one I'm gonna be shooting soon, and amazingly, because I requested if I can have something like a soap, I would love to feature Sorsogon because It's my husband's hometown, and Sorsogon is a hidden paradise, and I feel that people need to see it more. And I've been staying there during the lockdown, and I said, if I have a soap, I think I want it to be Sorsogon. So I'm doing a telenovela which is named I Left My Heart in Sorsogon, and I was very involved with the story, the outfits, everything. It's gonna be super fashion, and it's gonna be super fun, like a rom-com, a little light drama. Style icons, I have a lot. I love Grace Kelly, Audrey Hepburn. I also love Michelle Obama. Of course, I have a little Kim Kardashian on the side. I also used to follow Mira Duma. She's this Russian socialite, and she was such a business minded person. She was doing Bureau 24/7, which I worked with Singapore. She was also editors of certain magazines in Russia. Now she's doing a lot of environmental friendly stuff and sustainability. I really liked her style because she was very unique. Chiara Ferragni is also one because, again, I appreciate people that, even if you say it's couture, even if, of course, it was made for you, but there's always going to be one person that has the same outfit, but it's really how you interpret it. And I feel like all of these individuals that I look up to, really, they wear the same shirt, but they have a different message each time they wear it. They wear it differently, and I always like that. I love when one is celebrating their individuality. It's just so fun and interesting and inspiring. I usually get inspiration from just seeing all the clothes put together. It's like a puzzle that you want to solve. And sometimes I feel, whether it's high-end or low-end, it's just really how you put it together and carry it with confidence that makes it look good. So I guess my inspiration would be myself, my flaws, my insecurities, the things that I'm fighting for, that, okay, I have to get over this, I have to do this. And then I just come up with a look and I feel good in it, I feel great, and I guess I walk better, or I strut my stuff even better. I also love looking at street fashion. I love mixing classics with the trends. I'm not so much of a hype beast type of girl, but I do love incorporating a little bit of that. I celebrate all generations of fashion, and I like to put it in one outfit. So in a way, it becomes timeless, not dated. Yeah, so I guess it's a mix of everything. Thank God for social media and YouTube. I think fashion is really about being sustainable, sustainability in terms of the environment, and also it's a good balance. I mean, there's always going to be something beautiful. There's always going to be something in trend. You can't buy everything. Mauubos ka. You're gonna just, spend all your savings for the day that savings for when you're old and gray, and you just have to be very smart. So it's really how you put things together and how you carry yourself and how positive you are with just being yourself. And I think that's the best weapon when it comes to fashion. You may have the same dress, but you carry it differently. That was a pretty fun topic, very light but interesting. I enjoyed that. And again, if there's any other topics you want me to talk about, love, fashion, food, just comment down below, and I'm super duper willing to do another episode of Dear Heart. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been Heart. Bye!